Hello everybody, you are tuned into Know What. My name is Neo.
My name is Lebo.
It's not a Thursday, so we're not going in depth about property investing. However, we are speaking about the truth of being an entrepreneur in South Africa.
So now while we were actually searching for what to actually talk about, we came across this particular topic about how to become an entrepreneur. So we're always hearing this nice quotes on Instagram, on Twitter, saying that if you do not actually work on your dreams, you'll be actually working on someone else's dreams.
Yeah.
But now, what does it actually mean to start your own business, to now go out of your comfort zone and be this leader that someone actually needs to look at on a daily basis and be like, I am actually going to be pushing this particular dream? Because now, let's admit it doesn't necessarily mean that everybody is going to be an entrepreneur. So now that's something that we firstly need to start accepting, that not all of us are actually going to be entrepreneurs. I think the sooner we start believing this, the better. Going into it, if you are actually going to become an entrepreneur, we need to now start diving into the good side and the bad side of being an entrepreneur. Then only make an informed decision that, you know what, maybe this is for me.
I mean, with entrepreneurship, we're so inspired by these quotes. We're so inspired by the results, the end results. We're so inspired by the outcomes. However, now once we start understanding the process, then you get to understand what is entrepreneurship for what it really is. I mean, it's a whole sacrifice. We're speaking with the team today. We're having a real talk with the team today about what does it mean in terms of being a leader. How do you see opportunity, or how do you see the world differently from other people? So it's quite interesting because it's different. It's way different. We're talking about sacrifice, and as I did mention, especially most of the time when you are in leadership position, we can be looking at the same thing. However, a leader can see different results or different outcomes than what everybody's seeing. So how do you train yourself, or how do you position yourself? Because somebody might see that, you know what, today we had to do such an event, but nobody bought. And then somebody will be like, does this mean that our sales, does this mean that we suck in sales? And then a true leader will actually know that the problem might not be me. The problem might be the product. And that's what separates winners from winners.
What I'm basically hearing about being an entrepreneur, it's about sacrifice, right?
Yeah.
So now I remember at some point we needed to actually make a decision that, are we actually going to be looking at family, or are we actually going to be looking at our business? I mean, that was a very, very, very tough decision to actually make, because now on the family, it wasn't like something good, like it's a party that you can actually arrive late, right? It was actually a crisis. And also we had already committed with our business. So now we needed to make a decision that, are we actually going to go with family, or are we going to look at our business? And now the pros and cons, let me tell you, let's go deeper into this, right? Let's go into the pros of actually going to the business and not the family. So now if you are actually going to be going to the business, there is a chance that you might actually close clients, of which at that time we were not actually thinking about the business side of non-wealth. We were just looking at, let's just give value to the people that actually understand our vision, right? And then if we did go to the family, then the people, or the 30 clients that we had actually called in to actually tell about property investing, would have seen from the get-go that these guys aren't really serious about property investing. So now, should we actually do this? So now the decision that we actually made, do you want to say? The decision that we made was that we needed to actually go with the business and not the family.
Sure. Now, can I ask you a question, right? Because I really want us to dive deep, especially in about this topic at hand. What can you say that entrepreneurship taught you about Lebo that you didn't know?
I feel like entrepreneur actually taught me how not to become a procrastinator. I mean, honestly speaking, from my perspective, I think naturally there's a lot of things that I like procrastinating. Probably be like, no man, I'll see it some other time. No man, maybe we can see it at the end of the day. But now with entrepreneurship and with property investing, putting property investing into the mix, is that when you look at being a procrastinator, every second that you actually waste, you're giving someone else the deal that you might actually have signed. So now what do I mean, right? There was this particular time when we needed to actually sign an offer with an estate agent. But now the problem was that we thought that because it's a Sunday, let's just relax. only to find out that Sunday morning there was another property investor who actually called the estate agent and told the estate agent that they are actually signing the offer to purchase today. So now if we had actually called earlier or the day before on a Saturday, then we would have actually closed that particular deal. But now because we were actually procrastinating, thinking that nope, let's maybe try some other day, right? That's what actually made us lose that particular deal. Man, right now, you'd rather reject me and tell me that, man, it's a Sunday, please don't, let's not talk about business. I'd rather have it that way than actually sitting at home saying that it's a Sunday.
Yeah. Man, Lebo, there's somebody out there who's young, who's upcoming. They might not even have those necessary resources towards ensuring that they achieve their entrepreneurial goals, if one might say. What real advice do you have for that person? Especially, I want an analogy of somebody who doesn't have everything on a silver platter. Like, what keeps you going? Because I truly feel that it's something that they can also hold on to and look at this in another way, in another manner. Instead of results. I want instant results.
Well, I think the first thing that you actually need to be looking at is that why are you actually doing what you're supposed to be doing right now? So now say for instance, for me, property investing or actually teaching and giving someone a better chance of getting something is my passion, right? That's my passion. That's why I do what I wanted, what I am actually doing right now. So now if we can actually reverse, before we actually started monetizing non-wealth, we would actually go out every day talking to clients for free, right? So now for someone who's sitting at home that doesn't actually have the necessary funds or the necessary knowledge in terms of how to actually go forward with the entrepreneur side, I would say that you just need to commit as soon as possible. Just commit and then see later on how you're actually going to go through with that whole particular thing. Because now here's the thing about committing, right? When you are saying that I'm actually going to be doing that, in your mind, I don't know, somewhere, somehow, right? In your mind, what happens is that you come up with ideas on how to actually get that particular thing. If the first reaction is that, you know what, I'm not actually going to be doing this, then you're cutting off all of the possibilities that you might be doing. So now I'm always telling the team that I don't know, it's the most laziest answer that you can give, right? Because now when you say I don't know, you're actually cancelling out how to actually solve the particular problem. So now I don't know for me doesn't actually work through. You're always finding some way or somehow to actually get that particular thing that you have actually committed to. So now what would be that one advice that you'd give to someone that's sitting at home and being like, you know what, I want to become not necessarily a property investor, but I want to become an entrepreneur. What's the best advice that you would actually give to them?
I think it's very important to understand what is win and what is a lose. See, as an entrepreneur, once you understand the win and the lose, that's where you can take it quite far.
Okay.
Because now, in our journey as entrepreneurs, trust me, you throw the dice so many times that it doesn't land on the number that you're hoping that it would land on.
You only need to land once, right?
And you only need it to land once. So that's when you understand consistency, the importance of consistency. So even though I might be failing, I might have failed 8 times, but now that does not necessarily mean that I'm not getting anything out of this, or that does not necessarily mean that my product is not of great quality. That does not necessarily mean that there's no need of this product. So it's very important to understand failure, because when I'm saying understanding failure, I'm not saying that coming with a product or service that there's no need for and then trying until there's a need for it. I'm just trying to say that I didn't do my marketing correct, or if maybe I didn't close right. How do I equip myself with all these failures that I've been doing? How do I get that knowledge so that I can convert to wins? And also, wins are very important to acknowledge wins, because now once I start to understand wins, I gain confidence, I gain momentum, so I can take advantage of all of that towards getting to my desired goal. Sure. So it goes back to the process at large.
Sure. So now, Neo, what do you think as an entrepreneur is the most underrated thing that you need to actually come through with in the property investing thing? I know people are saying work hard, people are saying work smart. But now what's the most underrated thing that you didn't hear about but thought about it when you actually started within your journey?
I think it's consistency. It's not a thing. It's definitely consistency. The reason why I'm saying it's consistency, because we do so much of property work it gets to that point whereby it's in the heart, it's in the system. Like we'll be sitting with the guys and we'll be like, the guys and the ladies will be like, hey, property investing 1, 2, 3, 4, property investing 101, rental 101. And then that's when you can see that it's passion.
So it comes naturally.
It comes naturally. So even when it comes to the point whereby we're on stage, we're speaking about property investing with the audience, it flows naturally, so because it's something that you have been doing, so it becomes nature. So I would actually say that it's very important that you do whatever that you're doing, you make it become part of your DNA so that it becomes natural. Because now if it was artificial, that means once somebody asks a particular question in a particular manner, now I can't address that question because I was off script now. But now when it's natural, you know for sure that nobody can catch me off guard, man. Yeah, I think that's it from my side, man.
Okay. Hope you really actually enjoyed this. If you are actually planning to become an entrepreneur, please know that every Tuesday we are here for you. If you have anything that you would want us to actually discuss, please do put it down in the comments. We'd really like to hear from you.
And when we're really passionate about entrepreneurship, hence we're like, you know what, let us take this role, let us speak about entrepreneurship, because I can't wait to look back at this 2 years to 5 years from now and like, Lebo, you know what, we did start somewhere, man. It was very important that we started this. So I'm looking forward to looking back at the process, and not just at the end results, but the process, the growth. And I'm quite excited about this. So if you are an entrepreneur out there, I would say, man, make sure that you understand the difference between your losses and your wins, and you embrace failure. You embrace failure as a whole, and you make sure that you go out there and achieve whatever that you put your mind to.
Long wealth.
Signing out.